Alright, we're on the home stretch, coming down to the last few details, and I'd like to add a logo to the headstock here. Okay, so let's open up this headstock file and take a look at that. Now, I want to add the logo right in the middle here, and unfortunately the logo is not created in SOLIDWORKS. The logo is created in Adobe Illustrator. Now, this is a really common thing. You're going to need to bring in geometry from Illustrator all the time, I'm sure, if you're working with anything that has logos and stuff on it. So I thought we'd talk about bringing that in. So it's really important that your Illustrator geometry be nice and clean, and that there be no overlapping paths. Okay, so if there are paths that are overlapping, you're going to have to combine them using the Pathfinder tools. And that's for another tutorial. But anyway, you want nice, clean paths that are all closed and just basically legal for SOLIDWORKS. So let's just say File, and then Export. Not Save As, but Export. And then we'll go to our desktop here, and I'm going to save this as a DXF file, okay? And click Save. Now, it's really important that we remember what scale we are using. In this case, we're using 1 millimeter, all right? So let's remember millimeters is our scale, and then we're just, the rest of this stuff doesn't matter. We'll click OK, and now we can hop back over to SOLIDWORKS. So I'm going to select this face, and then go Insert, DXF/DWG. It's really important you select the plane first, though, otherwise it won't work. And then we'll go back to our desktop, and I'm going to bring in this O logo DXF. This is not a reference. This is actually going to bring it in as a sketch and break any links to the original file, which means that you can have that file wherever you want. You don't have to keep it in the folder with everything else. And now when it says units of imported data, we need to set that to whatever we used when we did the export, which in this case was millimeters. We'll say Next, and click Finish. It should bring it on in, and who knows where or how big that will be. You never know. But here it is. I found it. So I'm going to select this geometry before I do anything else, and come up here to the top and click on Make Block. If you don't have Make Block in there, you say Tools. I believe it is under Blocks and Make. However, I have added that button to my toolbar because I use it all the stinking time. Alright, so now I have a block, and blocks are easier to work with than everything else in a sketch. So once I bring this in as a block, I can really easily just drag the whole thing around just by dragging any part of it. I can center it real easily where I want it, and then I can even scale it just by changing the scale parameter here. I could constrain it if I want to. So I could take, for example, let's just take let's come over here and find my right plane. I'm going to say this point wants to be coincident with the right plane. And furthermore, I might as well make this one coincident with the right plane as well, and that's going to lock me to vertical, so I'll know that this will stay vertical. And then, when I select this, I can just keep scaling it to whatever size I think looks visually appropriate for what we're doing here. I think I want it right out here in the middle, and I want it nice and big so we can definitely see that it's there. Don't want it to be too crazy. But there's my logo right there on this guy, and it's going to be the same basic process we use to create the inlays for the fretboard, except backwards. So let's just exit that sketch. We'll do our extruded cut, select our sketch here, and under selected contours, we'll just clear that out and just choose the bits that we want to extrude. In this case, this part, and this part. Alright, that works. We only want to go one direction. And in direction 1, we want this to be blind. Now, if that didn't give you that drop-down with all of that stuff, you may have to flip it back and forth just to remind it that, that it should put those menu items there. And then you'll get that blind as an option. We'll go in by 3 millimeters, let's say, and click OK. And we've got our little hole there, ready to accept whatever else we're going to put in it. And we'll make sure that that sketch is showing again. Or just select the sketch, I should say, and just do an extruded boss. And then under selected contours, once again, we'll choose those same 3 contours, flip the direction, and make sure that we do not merge result, importantly. And we'll go 3 millimeters down, click OK, and we are done. We can hide this sketch. And then we can come over here to our materials, drop our cream-colored plastic on those 3 areas. And actually, those are going to end up being metal, I think, when we do the final renderings, but it doesn't matter for now. So now we have our inlaid logo right up there. Close this up. And there she is, right there on the guitar. And everything else, friends, we're going to be able to do in Modo or wherever else. We're going to do some laser etching on this guy. We're going to add some interesting paint effects and stuff, but that's all going to be done in Modo. So our job in SOLIDWORKS is complete, and I can't believe I'm saying that. That is exciting. All right, we'll see ya.